Hello, everybody. Harry, K Paso. K Paso. You coming in? What are you doing? All right, we got Michael. He retired March 1st. Thanks to the two bucket plan. I have a TSP in my retirement. I put 5 years of income in the G fund. Think of putting 2 years back in the C fund? Would I? Hey, good boy. It's like it's starting to rain, man. Harry, you guys getting drought conditions down there? Just listen to a guy from Texas today. I know you're in Oklahoma, but he says drought conditions like crazy. I wouldn't put any money back in the C fund yet, and we haven't hit the bear market yet, so I wouldn't. Scott, 3F121 Paul. Interesting. Hello, Paul. K Paso, Scott in Texas. Scott, you getting drought conditions down there? Chicken Charlie, good evening. Supposed to rain on Monday through Wednesday. That's good. You guys need that desperately, is my understanding. Hey, James's dad's watching. Right on, James's dad. I don't care what they say, sir. You did a good in raising old James there. I don't care what anybody says. Denise from Iowa, K Paso, dry in Fort Worth. That's what I'm hearing. Going to be rainy next 3 days. Yeah, they're calling for rain here. Looks like it's coming down right now. Call me Southern Cal. We got Florida in the house. Marcia. Hey, thanks, Marcia. Kenneth, right on. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for doing what you're doing. Thanks for watching so I can get that sweet, sweet YouTube money. John from Florida, K Paso John. We just, I did. I ordered some freaking Maryland blue crabs, and we just got done eating a crab feast. The only time I miss drinking beer is when we're eating a crab feast. Oh man, and I just tore up my finger, something wicked. Hey, Denise in the house. Evening, Virginia. John's calling me Virginia or Glenn Thomas. We're here for the dogs. Where are they? Hey, Finny. Finn again. You want to say hello? Finn. Finn. No, I think. Here goes. Wait, Pablo. You gonna come? Here comes Pablo. Come on, baby cakes. Oh, there's Pablo. Oh, there. Oh, where'd he go? Hi, Pops. People are saying they're here for the dogs. Hi. Give me a kiss. Plant one. No. Hey, Josh, left South Dakota down Florida. Right on, man. Why'd you do that? Why'd you leave South Dakota to go to Florida? Interesting. Hey, Jill. Right on. All right, so let's real quickly. We got Vaughn in the house. Right on. Richard in the house. Thank you all for being here. Let's see what we got over here on Rumble. Oh boy, you just dropped your toy. You just dropped your toy. Anyway, so I want to share with you something real quick. I get a number of emails about the stupid Biden giving our sovereignty to the World Health Organization. Folks, remember a treaty. You have to have, I think, 2/3 of the Senate to approve it for a treaty. They're not going to get 2/3 of the Senate to approve a World Health Organization treaty. It's just not going to happen. I remember when Clinton was in office and Obama was in office, they used to say all this crap too about treaties that were going to be suspect or we're going to lose our sovereignty and all that. It's just, what are you guys doing? It's just not going to happen. I mean, look, at the end of the day, other than Sniffy Joe, do they want the big UN to run everything? Hey, come here. Of course they do. But you can't get. Come here. Oh, here we go. There we go. Hello. But there's no treaty that's going to be signed, approved by 2/3 of the Senate. And, anything that Biden does without it being a treaty, it's just who cares? It's like an executive order, essentially. Yeah, and this is what actually bothers me more than anything is we've already given our sovereignty to the CDC and the World Health Organization without a treaty. And I hate to say it, but that happened under Trump. I still don't get, like, I don't know. Anyway, just still to this day, I'm still miffed by this whole thing. In fact, that's funny. I was just reading a guy, pretty left wing guy. I don't think I got his article up there. Let's see if I do. I might. Yeah, I don't think I don't have his article up here. But I was just reading a left wing guy I follow on Substack, Matt Stoller, Stoller. And I like his writing. He's an anti-monopolist. He's pretty left wing, just big time. No, it wasn't that guy. It was another guy, Chris Hedges, very left wing guy. Chris Hedges, that's who it was. And because I follow some of these guys, I mean, I'm not. I like to see what the left is talking about because every now and again they do have some ideas that I think the Republicans should co-opt. Being an anti-monopolist is one. Anyway, the point being is that with what he was saying is that the CDC's budget is 10 billion, the EPA's budget is 10 billion, and we just gave 40 billion to Ukraine. I mean, you think about that. If you're truly worried we have a pandemic, and not that the CDC can stop it because the CDC's freaking as dumb as rocks, we all know that. Or you're truly worried about climate change, not that the EPA can stop it because the EPA is dumb as rocks, we all know that. I'd be pissed. I'd be pissed. I'd be, wait a second. I'm AOC. I believe in climate change. That's why I'm not having any kids, because climate change. And then so they're going to give 4 times the budget of the CDC to Ukraine. You freaking. Hey, little things. I want to share with you something here because the biggest issue we have is green, and then the Australians just voted for the green. It's insanity, man. It's insanity. I don't. I mean, I get it because the right wing never showed. I mean, look, under Morrison, the right wing, which isn't very right, the right wing is like Tony Blair right wing, if you're familiar with UK politics. Just not. They don't give an alternative. It's like the freaking John McCain's of the right here in the United States. Just not an alternative, man. Anyway, point being is, Morrison allowed the stormtroopers to take over that country. So seeing him go makes me feel good inside. Australia, they're going to pay the price for left wing insanity on the Green New Deal crap, but it's nuts. I shudder to think the world of what we're doing to ourselves. And I want to share with you this. I got a kick out of this. It's oops, not that. Oh, they just added a bunch of stuff. Cool. Share a screen. What? Don't you want to be on the TV anymore? Oh, okay. You don't want to be on TV anymore? Hold on just a second. Right here. Check this out. This is actually funny. If you live in the state of New York, Biden's climate policies realize New York State's home energy crisis. More than 1 million households are 60 days behind on their energy bills, with an average of 1,400 in debt, and shutoffs are increasing. New York is facing a pandemic-fueled home energy crisis with no end in sight. More than 471,000 disconnection notices were sent out in April for residential customers across New York State. For commercial customers, there are more than 77,000 disconnect notices overall. National Grid had the highest number of service terminations. Let's see. Advocates fear that if there are more shutoffs by other utilities in the state in the coming days, some residents will have air conditioning to stave off the summer's often scorching heat, a life-threatening situation for vulnerable people. Here's Jasmine Graham, the energy justice policy of some clown show, environmental justice. Most people who die of heat in summers are seniors or children. Shutoffs in summers are as bad as winters. In November 2021, the Sniffy Joe and friggin' whatever her stupid name is added $4.5 billion to budget for low-income housing assistance. The money under the American Rescue Plan is available until September 2022. Anyway, the point being, it couldn't happen to a nicer group of people. You vote for that stuff, you're going to get it, and you're going to get it good and hard. And Australia is going to get it good and hard. And this stupid idiot from the environmental justice thing thinks heat is a threat. Heat is not the threat. We all know cold is a threat by far and away more than heat, man. It's not even debatable. I mean, it's just freaking, it's idiotic. I haven't done a video on this. I've been thinking about it now. Anyone here on Rumble? I'm going to put yo. Right, comment. I can't believe that. I can't believe the Australian. I would have voted for Scott Morrison. I mean, just the guy's a clown, man. I'm sick of clowns. We've had clowns all over the Republican Party, and we've had clowns over the Tories in the UK. We've had clowns in the Australian Liberal Party. That's their version of conservatives. Yeah, monkeypox. Hey, Denise, how you doing, man? Jill says monkeypox, such a clown show, 100%. So I'm going to share with you one other thing here about the wave of the future. And it's coming, my friends. Right here. Let's see. Hold on just a second. Was it right here? Sri Lanka offers a glimpse of the future. In April 2021, the president banned all imports of chemical fertilizer and ordered the country's 2 million farmers to go organic. Production of Sri Lanka's crucial rice crop fell 20% in the first 6 months, and the country went from producing all of its own rice to importing 450 million of it. Prices surged by 50%. Shocking. But it's vegan. It's organic. Organic, everybody. It's great. The price of vegetables like carrots and tomatoes shot up fivefold. The plan was sold on environmental grounds, but the main reason was that Sri Lanka's financial reserves had been drained by the pandemic. The sudden organic switch devastated chief exports like rubber and tea, which only made things worse. The U.S. tried to warn them. The USDA cautioned that the lack of organic fertilizer productive capacity, coupled with the absence of formalized plan to import organic fertilizers in lieu of chemical fertilizers, raised the potential for an adverse effect on food security. There's been no mention by the government how this would tackle a food security crisis. By September, Sri Lankans had to line up for basics like kerosene and powdered milk, and the president declared a state of emergency. The country was forced to relent after 7 months, but the damage was done. The farmers piled up huge debts, and just the losses from the tea crop alone accounted for 450 million schmackets. Now Sri Lanka is in shambles. NPR, the unraveling of Sri Lanka's economy has been swift and painful. Imports of everything from fuel to milk have plunged, spawning dire food shortages and rolling power cuts. People have been forced to queue for hours to buy essentials. Doctors have warned of a crippling shortage of life-saving drugs in hospitals. The government has suspended payments on $7 billion of foreign debts this year. And now Sri Lanka's problems are about to become the world's. We're big fans of manure and compost here at Unprepared. For small gardeners, they can work just fine and help you close dependency loops. I'm fertilizing my garden this year with nothing but compost. By the way, I use a Mittleider fertilizer system, and it's going up in price, by the way, as everything's going up in price. That's why I have a stack of 10, 10, 10, 13, 13, 13, and manganese, all the other stuff that Mittleider does sitting in 5-gallon buckets back there, because I know the fertilizer price is going up, and I'm going to have my plants growing. And fertilizer is the only way to do it. And the organic stuff in terms of composting, it can work okay. But let's stop this idea that organic is going to feed a population. It's freaking stupid, man. Anyway, for massive farm operations, manure and compost don't cut it. To know why, you need NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Fertilizer selection is complicated and can change throughout the planting season. For instance, Utah State recommends 16-16-8 in the early season and 46-00. That's all nitrogen in the latter season. And then we can see the organic chicken manure, 1.1, 0.8, 0.5 in NPK, compost, cow manure, rabbit manure. It doesn't take a math whiz to see that these numbers for organic fertilizers are a lot smaller than the ones for chemical fertilizers. Live good through chemistry, huh? I thought science was supposed to lead the way. Science, NPK, and all the other stuff that you need to. You need lime. Yeah, I'm just drawing a blank. Some of the other stuff we have, borax or boron. Epsom salt's always good. Coffee fill, all that stuff is good, man. Your ground needs it to generate activity in the ground, and your plants need it too. Of course, it has to be absorbed. Let's see. And a sudden switch to manure and compost will lead to a disaster, as we see in Sri Lanka. Unfortunately, the Ukrainian crisis isn't the only factor at play. Many other conditions are aligning to create a perfect storm around our global food supply. Extreme weather and drought. Many areas of the world are seeing droughts and extreme heat. Drought in France is threatening its wheat production. Yep. Meanwhile, India and Pakistan are already suffering extreme heat. It's happened in the United States. In Idaho, the place where they grow all the potatoes, not true. Maine, more than 3/4 of the state is already in a drought. They usually announce drought declarations per county and haven't issued a blanket declaration in 10 to 15 years. And Utah's in the same boat. Anyway, ethanol production. On top of everything else, Biden is expanding the use of ethanol. Oh, we're growing corn so we can put it in our gas tanks, which means that more farmland is going to be used for growing fuel, not food. That might sound like a bad idea on the surface right now, but it's really a bad idea. Anyway, so nations pausing exports. Argentina, I think it was India too, Indonesia, Turkey. Anyway, so we got enough of that. The point being is, so Ukraine, not Ukraine, Sri Lanka can't feed their population. All right, so they stopped doing all they because they went to organic, and now they can't pay their debts. And for the first time in 70 years, they're bankrupt, 100% default. And guess who they're asking to help them raise the funds? Oh, the IMF. I'll do a video tomorrow on how to take over a country. It's quite simple, actually. You let the green idiots in the Brussels in the Davos crowd tell you, go organic, it's safe, it's great, it's green. You let the green idiots tell you, go organic, you don't need you don't need fossil fuels, just wind and solar is great. And then you go organic and you go wind and solar, you don't have enough to put food on the table and to freaking use air conditioning or to provide heat, and so you can't pay your bills because you have no product to send overseas, and as such you got nothing, no money coming in from the exports. And what do you do then? You go bankrupt, and then you say the IMF bail us out. And the IMF says we'll bail you out, but you're gonna listen to what we tell you. It's a freaking clown show, man. It's complete cabal, and there you go. It's the bankers that run the world, the bankers, dudes, and they're pushing in Australia. Australia's gonna be doomed. It's only a matter of time. I had a guy post on the California. We live right next to the biggest desalination plant in California. We got more than enough water, and we have more solar in the day than California needs. The guy doesn't know what the hell he's talking about, and he says we're going to be just fine. I just the level of absurdity and ignorance is mind-boggling, actually. Now you could do like I used to do, is get all mad and say, we got to change things, folks. There's nothing you can do about it. There's literally nothing you do. You can just talk to people. I like to mock the idiots on the Green New Deal side because they're just dumb. They literally don't know. I was debating online a guy today. I forgot where it was about, some of the green stuff. And I could just tell us that, man, this guy's just dumb. Like I shouldn't say dumb. He's ignorant. He doesn't know what the hell he's talking about, but he thinks he does. That so I use dumb because he thinks he's all that in a bag of chips. He's just not. I was sitting there thinking, man, you think you're all that in a bag of chips, but you don't know what the first thing what you're talking about, man. It's incredibly, incredibly embarrassing, and frankly, it's damaging. And it's going to come. And with Australia, Britain, they gave. The whole thing is insane. I mean, look at Boris Johnson, Scott Morrison. I mean, all these guys are one and the same, man. One in the same. And there's not going to be any. There's no hope in politics. There just ain't. There's only hope in Jesus, obviously, but there's no hope in politics. So anyway, you just gonna have to get ready for it, and recognize that we are going into a time of mass deflation. After this inflation thing runs itself through, it's going to be mass deflation, where you can't get products that you want. You just can't. I don't think we're going to starve to death or anything. I just think at the days of what we've lived for the last 30 to 40 years are going to come to just a quick halt. We just can't get the stuff you're accustomed to. And whatever. There's nothing to do about it, man. You can just prepare and say, all right, we're gonna have to go back to living a little bit less high on the hog. It's not the worst thing that ever happened. All right. So you come on. You can come up here and sit in my lap. You don't have to keep griping. Oh boy. Anyway. All right, so let's see what we got. Monkeypox is silly. We know who's affected by monkeypox, the people in Provincetown, Massachusetts, if you know what I'm saying. So don't go to Provincetown, Massachusetts. You're going to be just fine. All right, so I said yesterday in a video, Vaughn, that I am a proponent of downshifting one. So if you're in all stocks, downshift to Wellington. If you're in Wellington, downshift to Wellesley. Obviously, you got to be careful, because I don't know tax consequence. If you're selling in a taxable account, there could be a tax consequence. I did want to say something real quick. I still find this kind of ironic, is that I looked at my portfolio from the beginning of 2020, and I am up. Hold on a second. Even after this 18% decline in the S&P 500. Oh man, I got that's two. Oops, hold on just a second. Oops, hold on. There we go. All right, so we got Hold on just a second. Still averaging 8% a year since the 2020. Still averaging 8% a year for 2 years, even though we're down 18% or so. I mean, what that's what are people griping about? It's crazy, man. You're still waiting. That's as of 2020. You factor in from 2015, 2016, 2017, all the money you've been putting in. Dudes, we're down 18%. Wow. It's no big deal. However, I think actually the bond market has more upside than the stock market for the 1 to 3 years. I absolutely do. So the ways I did downshifted. I got something in my eye. I was doing a lot of pressure washing, so I should have worn goggles, but I'm sure I got all the dirt in my eye from pressure washing. Anyway, so the point being is, I think the opportunities in the bonds for the short term, and secondly, I think there is some serious issues we're gonna have to contend with here. Not the stupid war in Ukraine. That's actually it ticked me off. I actually took a picture. We're sitting in church, and I generally don't go to church anymore, but we went today, and I took this picture. Here's the Catholics. We have the offerings. What does that remind? What does that look like? Why are the envelopes in these colors? Anyone want to take a guess why the envelopes are in those? Look, just because I say I don't go to church anymore does not mean I don't follow Jesus and the teachings of the good book right there. Just means I'm the the Catholic Church structure. It bothers me. Not gonna lie to you, man. It bothers me greatly because I'm like, is it part of the solution or part of the problem? You right on, Kirk. Exactly. Yep, Ukraine. And then my oldest said, "Isn't it weird? There's nothing for Libya, nothing for Syria, nothing for Afghanistan, nothing for Ethiopia, nothing." And then the guy got up there, the priest says, "We pray for those our Ukrainian. We pray for Ukraine." And I say, I still that still ticks me off. Still does to this day. It's like it ticked me off. I said a video a while ago, and people say, I said, we pray for Israel. I said, what is this? We pray for America plus this one country. I know I've never understood that. And I was sitting there thinking, you're going to show that in the pews? Like, I don't know. The church as a whole part of the problem or part of the solution? Now, the love of God and Jesus is the solution. Is a church a manufactured concoction of human beings who are all flawed, the solution or the problem? And I don't know. I think about that, and I enjoy very much going to church and singing the songs, and talk to the lady next day to me, and she was very nice. She had 4 kids and 7 grandkids, and had a good chat. We held as we do. So we don't do it much anymore, but when we say in church, we sing the Our Father, and we're all supposed to hold hands. They don't do that much anymore, and it's like me and her, and hardly anyone else doing holding hands anymore because I guess everyone's so afraid. And then we say, peace be with you, peace be with you. This is after all, we do all the calisthenics that we do in the pews. And, some of the people in there they just go peace because they don't want to shake hands. And, well, man, it is what it is. Thankfully, not that many people had masks, but the two people in front of me, their 2 young children had masks. It so infuriates me. Well, yeah, well, and that's another thing that kind of ticked me off too. It's like they're forcing Spanish on us, and I don't like that. I don't like it because everything they sing is half in English, half in Spanish, and then the Bolton is half in English and half in Spanish too. And the thing that ticks me off is our church is worldly. We have Haitians in there. We have Indians, from India. We got a lot of Asians, Filipinos, and all that. It's like, what is this Spanish stuff? I don't like it at all. And I don't know in the Spanish mass, because we also have a Spanish mass. Do they have it half in English and half in Spanish? I don't know. So my presumption is they probably don't have it in English at all. I don't know that to be a fact, but I've never liked this force feeding of the Spanish on me. I don't like it. I haven't liked it for 30 years. It has nothing to do with my dislike for Spanish speaking people. Love them to death, man. My Latin brothers and sisters love them to death. Many of them are some of the best people you ever possibly meet. I don't like being forced to that. We never vote on this crap. You know what I'm saying? And I like it. And then so in church, we're like, we have to sing the song. And I'm like, what? And I was like, oh, it's in Spanish. And that just ticks me off. I like it. It's like, wait a sec. How come we're not singing in French with the Haitian people? How come we're not singing in the various dialects of India or the various dialects of the Philippines and whatnot? This is freaking stupid. It bothers me, Yeah. Oh, young kids in choirs were. Yeah, and that. Well, yeah, ugh. Well, I mean, look, man, I'll take the Spanish immigrants any day of the week. Love them. They're the only ones going to work around here anymore. I'm sorry, but I've come to that conclusion, man. It's been a debate internally for me for years. As a libertarian, I believe in free minds, free markets, freedom to go where you can choose the best path for you and your family. The facts are we need the immigrants probably to here pretty soon more than they need us at some point. And we need them, but I still don't like. I still we never forced us to speak Italian in the Catholic churches, us to speak Gaelic in the Catholic churches in the old days. It's I don't. It's just being forced fed. It's virtue signaling, man. That's all it is to it. And I just it bothers me actually. And how I don't know these just it's just the liberal nonsense. And then I so yeah, and I don't even mind that. I don't like it at church. I don't care. I mean, look, it doesn't bother me. Gotcha about Ukraine, but at least that money at church actually go to the people of Ukraine that need help versus the money laundering. Will it though, Joe? Will the money truly go to the people of Ukraine that goes through the different the job the people at the church, from the Pope all the way down? I don't know, man. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure. They're only mentioning praying for Ukraine because they're at war. Huh, interesting. So they're at war. So we pray for those who are at war. Oh, because there's no one else at war. Um, I look. I know you're trying to give them the benefit of the doubt, Charles. I know it, but you're wrong, man. This is completely. It's just you're wrong. I mean, just because they're at war. What? So war is what causes us to pray for people. And war is what causes us to put yellow and blue offering envelopes into the pews. It's crazy. I mean, what the hell's going on in Ethiopia? What the hell's going on in Nigeria? What the hell's going on all over the place, man? I mean, it's just so when India and or was it India and China were lobbing bombs over the border there, the Catholic Church says we pray for those people and whatever. Oh, it's just this. It's yeah. I'm offended by. It, I'm not gonna lie to you. Oh yeah, tons of virtue signaling at church, man. No, that's the issue. Church hopping is not your answer. Actually, I was reading up my thing on C.S. Lewis about. Let's see if I can't find that quote from C.S. Lewis. Actually, I saw your LinkedIn chat. I haven't read it yet, Jeremy. I saw that you I got an email that you chatted me, Jeremy. So I did see it, but haven't read it yet. Gotta make sure it's not spam. That you're not a prince of Nigeria. I want to share with you guys if I can find it. Some C.S. Lewis on church. Yeah, right here. Because C.S. Lewis says something that's quite profound. That, of course, everything C.S. Lewis said was quite profound. C.S. Lewis could be sitting on the pot, and you'd be it'd be more profound than anything than you and I could come up with Stephen Hawking's faked brain, if that makes sense. So let's see what. All right, so C.S. Lewis. I love C.S. Lewis. This guy just freaking kills it. When he died the same day as Kennedy, by the way. Right here. The church exists for nothing else but to draw men into Christ, to make them like little Christ. If they're not doing that, all the cathedrals, clergy, missions, sermons, even the Bible itself are simply a waste of time. God became man for no other purpose. Oh my goodness. Oh, that just a cold, self-righteous prig who goes regularly to church may be far closer to hell than a prostitute. 100%. In such a fearful world, we need a fearless church. In such a fearful world, we need a fearless church, and we don't have it. right here. Right here, man. Right here. Surely you know that if a man can't be cured of church going, the next best thing is to send him all over the neighborhood looking for the church that suits him and become a taster, a connoisseur of churches. Uh, Actually, let's see what he says in Screw Tape Letters, because this I want to screw tape about church. Hold on a second, because there's one I want to screw tape about churches, about church. Because there's a screw tape says, I'm not going to find it. Anyway, basically it says, don't go church hopping. He goes, the best we can do is get people to go church hopping because then they become, like I am, critics as opposed to listeners. And I'm trying not to be a critic. That's why I went today, because I enjoy, the God is touching my spirit inside. Oh, speaking of which, I'm going to do a quote. Can I do a poll in here? Wow, man, I can't do a poll. All right. So I'm going to give you a quote. All right. Hold on a second. Let me hold on just a second. All right. Get your Bibles ready. All right. So let's Matthew 18:20. Let's read Matthew 18:20. All right. Matthew 18:20. Let's bust out our Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. And we're going to read 18:20. Let's see what our Bible says. All right. 18:20. You guys ready? 18:20. Right there. Oh my goodness. I still can't get over this. And this is 18:19. Again, I tell you that if two of you on earth agree about anything you ask for, it will be done for you by my Father in heaven. For where two or three come together in my name, there I am with them. Two or three. Two or three. For where two or three come together in my name, together I will be there with them. And then before that, it says, I tell you that if two of you on earth agree about anything you ask for, it'll be done for you by my Father. Two or three. Do you remember Jesus saying two or three in your memory? Or just two or more? Where two or more of you are gathered, I will be with you. But it says it right here, two or three. That, my friends, is the Mandela Effect. It never said two or three. Never. It's been changed. I'm telling you right now. It's never said two or three. Ever. We all know it said two or more. All of us know that. Isn't that crazy? And yet now it says in my own Bible, it says two or three. And that's the Mandela Effect. It's changed. Isn't that crazy? And there's so many instances of things being changed like that. It's nuts. When you start going down it's fun to go. You're like, no, Ed McMahon, the Stouffer's stovetop stuffing instead of potatoes. So many things have been changed. It's not three or more. It's two or more, man. When did they change it? That's what I'm saying. We don't know. We don't know. That's the Mandela Effect. It's like this something. I tell you, read about it. I don't like how they call it Mandela because the premise of that's silly. But it's like it just says there are things that changed that you know for a fact is the way it is. And then people say, oh, you're just misremembering. No, you're not misremembering. You're not. Things have changed. The past has changed. It's crazy, man. No, you can't find an older Bible. That's not how it works. It literally got changed. It's creepy. I'm telling you. It will blow your mind when you start looking at this. You're like, wait a second. No. It'll be changed. It will say two or three. And you know for a fact it never said two or three. But your Bible will say two or three. That's what's crazy. But yet you know for a fact it's two or more. We all know that. Oh, man. Crazy, isn't it? Nuts. Exactly, Tina. That's how we all learned it. Because that's what it was. We all know it's two or more. Isn't it crazy? Your Bible has been changed. That's the thing. And so you got to understand, you think it says, so you think it's two or more. That's how you remember it. And you're going to say, well, I'm going to look at my old Bible from granddad or from earlier times. I was going to say two or more. No, it doesn't. It says two or three. It has been changed. Even your hard copy Bible, this guy right here, it says two or three. There's no way. The Bible never said two or three. It's like time past has changed. It's like literally what it is. That's what the Mandela effect is. It's like you're thinking, I know it's two or more. And they're going to look at your Bible. It says, oh, it says two or three. I guess I was wrong. No, you weren't wrong. Something has happened to make this change. It's not just, it's everything. It's crazy. It's crazy. No, it's not. It's all going to say two or more. It's all going to say two or three. Look it up. Look anybody. Look, you can look any of them. Now I got a Russian Bible there that my wife's dad had. I can't read it because I can't read Russian, so I don't know what it says. An old one, and he went to a bunch of Catholic schools, so I got a bunch of older Bibles there. But here's an Amplified Bible. I guarantee it's going to say. So remember, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. That's the four Gospels: Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. And then you're going to look at Matthew 18:20. So remember, if you're in Corinthians, well, you're too far because that's what Paul had written. So we want to go to the Gospels. All right. So we go to the Gospels. If you're in Act, that's what Luke had written. So we went too far. So we got to go back. Of course, Acts is one of my favorite books of the Bible, of the entire Bible, not just the New Testament either. All right. So we go to Matthew, Mark. There's Matthew. I'm telling you, man, it's crazy. Matthew. And people are going to think, Jeff, that you're nuts. They're going to say, well, you're just misremembering it. No, we're not. It's two or more. I know for a fact. You know for a fact. And we're going to see right here. Matthew, what did I say, 2018? Yeah. Yeah, what, 1820, excuse me. 1820. Right here. For whenever two or three are gathered, drawn together as my followers into my name, there I am in the midst of them. It's not, I mean, you can look them all up. It's nuts. But it never said that though, Joe. I mean, it does. It just got changed. Like literally, it's almost like the that movie, Marty McFly movie. You know what I'm saying? Like where he's showing a picture because he's can't go back to the future, Back to the Future, and it's like they're disappearing in the picture. It's crazy, man. It'll blow your mind. Anyway, if you get a chance, look it up. All right. And it's almost like it. No one's is that Don DuPont? Is that Don from USA? Is that the same Don DuPont? I'm telling you, that Bible is from 1971. It got changed. None of us remember it ever saying two or three. We all remember two or more. So what happened is, and how did this just all of a sudden come out to be? The pandemic. The pandemic says, yeah, you could have a Christ, you can have a two or three. We don't, and even some pastors were using that to say it's biblical to stay at home because wherever two or three are gathered is crazy, man. No, it's not the same difference. It's not. It's not the same difference. It's no, it's not because it was never two or three. It was always two or more. You know that. I know that. And so it's not the same difference. Something has got changed, and I don't mean scripture has changed. I mean, what happened is something went back and I don't know. I don't know how it happened, but what used to be two or more now says two or three. It's crazy. It is nuts, Don. I'm telling you, man. Oh yeah, God is there whether you're alone or not. God, he's there if you don't like him or not. God's always there. So the point being is, don't say, "Well, my old Bible says this about man." Right here, Michael says because that's not what the Mandela effect is. The Mandela effect says it got changed from what it used to say. Is this crazy? Nuts, man. Yeah, no, it's faith, 100%, man. You can, see, that's where I'm going. This is that this the where am I going with this? I don't know. I find the idea of am I buffering? Let's see. Am I buffering? It looks like I'm buffering. Am I buffering? Alternate universe? I don't know what it is, man. I don't know. It never did, though, Jill. It never did. It says it now. And the theory behind it is that because the pandemic happened, that the pastors are trying hard to get people to say, "Don't come to church. Stay at home. 2 or 3 or more. We don't need you here." And something happened. I don't know. Alternate universe? I don't know. But start looking up the Mandela Effect. You'll find some stuff you like. Again, Stouffer's stovetop stuffing instead of potatoes. I remember that like it was yesterday. People say there's no such thing. It was never Stouffer's. Yes, it was. I know for a fact it's Stouffer's. You know for a fact it's Stouffer's. And now people are saying, no, 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 you're misremembering it. How can we all have mass misremembering? It doesn't make sense. And so I went to newspapers.com. I found 2 instances. That's it of Stouffer's stovetop stuffing. That's it. And I know for a fact it's Stouffer's stovetop stuffing. Ed McMahon, I know for a fact was with Publisher Clearinghouse. Ed McMahon was not with American Family Publishing like they tell us now. It was Publishers Clearinghouse, Ed McMahon. We all know that. And that's just the beginning of the iceberg of the Mandela Effect. It's crazy, man. All right, so let's talk about some stuff here. All right, so my wife is 5 years older than me and a wonderful housewife. I'm retiring at 57. How does her collecting Social Security now at 62 versus at 67 in regards to her survivor benefits? None. So she should take she should. Well, I shouldn't say she should. 'Cause I don't know Karsten, but I would have. If Charlotte were 5 years older than me and a wonderful housewife, I would have her take at 62. It will not affect survivor benefits one iota. Just want to make sure we're not what's the word? Connection is fairly good. Now it's unstable. What is going on, man? All right, so we good here? Hey, right on. There's Don, my man. That's crazy. There's Don DuPont. What are you doing, Don? You did you go over to Schwab or what, man? Yeah, the Jiffy one didn't do it for me because I don't remember any of that either. For me, it didn't. But some people say Jif and Jiffy. That's a big one for them. That Mandela effect. Me is the stovetop stuffing. The Monopoly guy without the. All right, cool, right on. The Monopoly guy. They say he never had a monocle. He had a monocle. 100%. He had a monocle. The Monopoly guy. So they say the Monopoly guy never had a monocle. Yes, he did. We all know he had a monocle. 100%. The Ed McMahon thing was crazy, man. I just when I heard that, I was like, no way. And then I started listening to guys, some pastor the other day, going on some of the Mandela effects in the Bible, and this is just the first one. There's like there's a bunch of it's crazy. All right, so let's see what else we got. No, two of my number of. I'll say that. Yeah, you're missing the point. The point isn't that the Bible says it now. The point is it never did before, and it got changed somehow. That's the point. The point isn't that it says 2 or 3. The point is that it never said 2 or 3 before, but now it does. So what happened? I'm telling you, it's gonna blow your mind. You're sitting there thinking that doesn't make. Why do we all think it's 2 or more? And now we look at our Bible and it all says 2 or 3, and yet we don't. That's not how we see it. And it's not that we've all misremembered the saying in the Bible. It's just not. Something has happened for these things to be changed from our past. I'm telling you, it's the Marty McFly thing where he's holding up the pitcher because he couldn't get back to the future in time. His brothers and sisters were disappearing. It's the same thing here. Instead of disappearing, it's being changed somehow. It's nuts, man. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's a simulation. See, this is where I think, yeah, exactly, right there, Andrew. The fruit of the loom cornucopia. We all know what a corn, whatever that is, cornucopia. It's crazy. You can't call yourself a free thinker and also believe in the Bible like it's literally true. Yeah, sure you can. All right, so now my man Brian says, won't Charlotte's spousal benefit be reduced if she takes hers at 62? Yes, it will. But what did my man ask? He didn't ask for spousal benefit. He asked for survivor benefit. All right. So old Carson is thinking he's going to die well before his wife. They probably will. You know what I'm saying? Because his wife kicks butt and takes names, and old Carson is, man, he's smoking and joking his whole life. I don't know you, Carson. I'm just being silly. The point being, remember, you got survivor benefits. What does Charlotte get at my death versus spousal benefits? What does Charlotte get when I'm alive? So remember, there's three benefits of Social Security that you really need to know about. There's more than that, but just a big three. Your own retirement benefits. All right. So I get a retirement benefit. Charlotte gets retirement benefits. Your spousal benefits. If Charlotte's benefit is less than half of mine, she will get a spousal benefit, which will be half of mine, if that makes sense. All right. So if my benefit is $3,000 a month, and hers is $1,000 a month. She will not get her benefit. She'll instead get a spousal benefit, which will be $1,500 a month. This is critically important to understand, my friends. So I'll get $3,000 a month at my full retirement age. She'll get $1,000 a month at her full retirement age, or she'll get $1,500 a month at her full retirement age as what's called a spousal benefit. Now, if she takes it early, she won't get $1,500 a month. She'll get $1,000 a month or $1,100 a month. It'll be reduced from that $1,500 a month, which is regardless of when I take it, just as an FYI. Now, it's not truly regardless of when I take it because I have to take my benefit for her to get her spousal benefits. I know it's confusing, but if you think this is confusing, go down the Medicare rat hole. It's nuts. Anyway, the point being is Charlotte will get half of my benefit or her own, whichever is more, and most likely it'll be half of mine at her full retirement age. That's called a spousal benefit. All right. Now, a survivor benefit. I die. Charlotte will get the greater of her own benefit or my benefit what I was taking when I died. All right. Keep that in mind. So she's going to get one of those two, her own benefit or my benefit if it's greater. Now, this freaking SSA, Social Security Administration, kiss my big fat behind because they're not, connection's messing up. I saw. Let me change my Wi-Fi. I want to say. Hopefully this doesn't screw things up. Hold on just a sec. It should be on my good one. Yeah, I see that too. I'm not sure what's going on, man. Huh. Yeah, hopefully the connection is not bad. Why the Mandela effect on the Bible verse and less other cultural things? Well, that's the thing, Jeremy. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Why the Mandela effect? That's the issue. We don't know why the Mandela effect is happening, and it's not just this is just what we've seen. It's like every day this guy on YouTube shows other things. Like, man, that's crazy. All right, good. A little fuzzy at times. All right, that's weird. I'm not sure what's going on. Maybe because all my kids are home. And Maddie's home too, so maybe everyone's on the Wi-Fi. Anyway, so now the spousal benefit is, the survivor benefit is what Charlotte. Yeah, exactly, Doug. Dougie Fresh. College graduates have another video call going on another part of the house. Yep. High school graduate. Yep. 8th grade graduate. Yep. 9th grade. We got call it that graduate. Yep. Wifey. Yep. Exactly. Pablo and Fenny. Yep. Just looking out the door. Look at this guy. Look at that guy. What are you doing, baby? You just looking out the window. You looking for a girlfriend? Hi, Finnegan. All right. Sorry about the video. Oh, I'm glad you can hear me though. The audio is always the most important thing. Oh, maybe storms in the area, right? Denise. Well, what's up, Denise? Have you reported yet? Yeah, that's Kirk. The more my faith grows, even more questions I ask God. That's exactly it. Why is asking questions make one challenge God? It's not. We're saying we love you, God. We don't get it, what's going on. But man, I am grateful for the brain you've given me. I want to know more. God, I just can't believe that people get so caught up. Like God asked, God doesn't want you to ask. He's like, he gave you that brain for a reason. Meatheads. What Pablo's streaming right on. Of course you can talk to God, Of course you can. The problem is, do you listen? Do you listen? That's the problem. People don't listen. They just talk. God, I promise I'll do this as long as I get that job. I promise. And God's like, dude, I love. There's a meme had a guy sitting on top. There's a flood. There's a meme, a guy sitting on top of a house as the flood was going, by. And the guy came in through a rowboat. He goes, "I'm here to save you." The guy goes, "No, no, I'm waiting for God to provide me a sign." It's, it's like purpose. Like God's like, dude, listen, I'm giving you a sign. I'm here sending someone to save you. The spousal will be reduced because Charlotte took it before her full retirement age, 100%. The survivor won't necessarily, though. Just keep that in mind. Just keep that in mind. The spousal will be reduced, but also, yeah, right on, right on. I think it's my man Dennis. Right on. You have 2 ears and 1 mouth. Exactly. The spousal, but the survivor could be reduced too. So there's a lot going on there. But my man Carson asked about the benefits of his wife reduced if he has survivor benefits. So I hope that helps a little bit. Someone asked to keep investing. Simple. What's a good one and done mutual fund? There's way too many issues. I can't say you should buy this or you should buy that. For me, not for anybody else, for me, the Wellington Fund at Vanguard, my best one and done mutual fund. If I had one mutual fund to choose, it's Wellington. For me, for this guy right here. No one else should do that. Everyone else should stay far, far away from that because my recommendations should not be taken as recommendations. So anyway, for me, Wellington, and that's by far and away my biggest holding, without question. I'm probably going to do a Roth conversion this week as well, by the way. As an FYI. Oh, look at that. Oh, you heard a longer version of that story? Oh, man, if you have a chance, email that to me. That's fantastic. Denise has been given second life. So believe I was talking to a guy the other day. Who was that? I forgot, but he flatlined. He had a heart attack, like 42. He flatlined, but he didn't have an NDE, a near-death experience or anything, or no light. He was dead. And then they brought it back because of the clear. I would reform Social Security quite simply. I would raise the payroll taxes 1/2 of 1 point on each side for the employee and the employer. And then I would, because you have to win politically, I would give an increase in benefits to the more of the lower to middle class people, if that makes sense. How do you do that? Well, you can't really do it other than changing the second bend point from 32% to about 40%. So I'd raise the taxes on Social Security, the payroll taxes for both sides, and I would actually increase the bend point to make a raise for Social Security as well. That's what I'd do. I got no qualm, as I've said 1,000 times a Sunday, and all my right-wing friends, because I consider I was getting ferocious debates about abortion today with some left-wing bloggers, which is fun. They say, "Oh, so you want to throw the women in jail?" So no, I throw the doctors in jail, though. You murder a baby, you should go to jail. That's simple, man. They say, "Oh, well, what about a woman's right to choose?" Yeah, murdering a baby is illegal. The guy who kills a baby should go to jail. Just that simple. I don't know what to tell you. It's literally that simple. And they're like, it's fun. I love because we're winning now. We are winning now. It's great. Our side is winning on the pro-life side. That doesn't mean abortion is going to be illegal, just FYI. I doubt that ever comes to fruition. But it will come back to the states. And the states, unfortunately, can do what the hell they want. But I'm okay with that. That's a win. That's a good win. We'll take it, and we should be happy. If Kansas, I've never understood why Kansas is the abortion mecca of the world. I don't get that. But if they want to continue being it, well, that blood's on their hands. For us and other states, we can say, no, you're not having abortions here. If you want to go to Kansas, be my guest. I still blame the men. The men are the one who couldn't keep in their pants. The men are the one who left the woman high and dry. And the men are the feminist men. They just want to have sex. And as such, they convince these young ladies to have sex with them. And they get pregnant. And the woman doesn't know what to do, the young lady. And they say, just abort it. It's no big deal. And who's left with the scars of that? It's the woman, not the man. So men can kiss my big fat behind who do this. And yet under the feminism thing, we've made it the men, see all these perverts in Hollywood and all this. We all know this. It's all these scumbags all these hippies and the feminists, free, not the feminists, the male feminists, free love. They just want to have sex, dudes. They just want to get laid. That's it. And they don't want responsibilities. And yet the woman is left with the scars of aborting the child or the child itself. It's freaking disgusting. Now, with that said, is the courts lined against men for custody? 100%. No one can debate that. But I'm not talking about custody. I'm talking about abortion. And as such, it goes to the fact that you don't want abortion, then keep it in your freaking pants, men. And if you don't keep it in your pants and your lady gets pregnant, you got a responsibility there now, don't you? Take care of it. But just sitting there saying, oh, no, you should have an abortion. So now you can go out and have some other floozy. It freaking pisses me off. First intermission, what's the score? El Terrifico. All right, so what we're talking about here. I don't know what the max characters in a live chat. I don't know. Yes, me. Well, yeah, but hindsight is 20. Yeah, right here. Jeff's got 3 to 4 years cash retirement. Could not agree more. My man, John Basil. Basil, thyme, garlic, rosemary, olive oil, salt and pepper. I'm 67, not collecting on Social Security. Does my benefit grow at 8% with a COLA? Yep, exactly right. Isn't that crazy? You're getting a COLA plus you're getting the delayed earnings credits. It's freaking nuts, dudes. It's nuts. Right on. I see a question, my man. I'm gonna get Cortez here. All right, here we go. F Cortez. Ohio, how much cash should you have in retirement? At least 2 to 3. I recommend 4 years cash. I still like Ginnie Mae. I know some people get, because Ginnie Mae's down 8% so far this year, they got to stick up their butts. I like government bonds. Ginnie Mae is a government bond. You can have treasury bonds. I don't care. I just like guaranteed bonds that have no risk for going bankrupt. So 3 to 4 years cash. It could be cash. It could be government bonds. I'm completely fine with either. Cash is always king, forever will be. So I don't think that cash will ever be. Cash is being destroyed by inflation, they say. Yeah, what's being destroyed by non-inflation is being the stock market right now. Growth stocks down 26%. So I'll rather have my cash lose incremental value over time because I probably won't be around for that long to see significant decreases versus a 20 to 25 to a 54% decline in the S&P 500 from 1 October 2007 to 9 March of 2009. A 54%. Yeah, I'll deal with an incremental rate of inflation versus that any day of the week. 100%. 3 to 4 years cash, man. Oh, yeah. So that's what I was saying, too. I said wealth tax. I would absolutely tax the wealthy, those Bill Gates. I'd get rid of any freaking deductions for all charitable contributions, put it all in the Social Security fund. Let's secure that. Medicare, too. No more charitable deductions. And everyone says, but I donate. I have what do they say? I donate to my church. I guarantee the vast majority of people on this live stream aren't itemizing. So if you're not itemizing, you're getting no charitable deduction. We're literally subsidizing the wealthy, the billionaires, to freaking finance the lifestyles of the millionaires with charitable deductions. It's such a scam. Such a scam. So I would absolutely get rid of charitable deductions because it doesn't do anything for anybody. If you want to, no one's sitting there thinking I can't give unless I get a charitable deduction. That's not Christian giving. That's not Muslim giving. I assume that's not Jewish giving. If that's giving because you can only give because you have a charitable deduction, then that's wrong to begin with. So anyway, the point, I get rid of all charitable deductions, 100%. All right. And then on top of that, say we're going to have wealth tax. Bill Gates, we're not going to allow you to give to all these NGOs all over the world that are doing bad things to innocent people. And as such, you can give it, but we're just going to tax as a wealth tax because you have too much money. And I'm like, what's too much? I don't know. But there ain't no such thing as a billionaire who's got there because let's just put it this way. I do follow the school that says if you're a billionaire, you've stepped on some shoes. Let's put it that way. And I got no qualm with that at all. Oh, how dare you? They're just capitalist entrepreneurs. Yeah, I don't think so. And if they are, so what? They got $1 billion. They can part with a little bit. I got no sympathy for that argument that if you go down, this is a slippery slope, Josh. Yeah. Yeah, the slippery slope is what happened in 2019, 20 and 21, where the CDC got rid of it, made a more the CDC. No law was passed, no executive order. The CDC said there's a moratorium on people from having to pay their mortgage. It's freaking insane. So I don't want to hear the slippery slope thing anymore. I'm done with it. Right on. I don't care if I'm a populist. The leftist, I am not. I'm absolutely a populist because you gotta. This is the thing with the righties don't understand. You gotta win to implement stuff that will help people, and you don't win by protecting the people at the very top who have done all kinds of snaky things to get to the very top. And that includes Elon Musk, who seems to be the darling of the right now. Bill Gates, freaking, that's just a poster boy for corruption. Then you got the hedge fund managers. I mean, have you seen the Jeremy Granthams of the world? How much money they're giving to far left causes? I don't understand why right wingers fall for this every single time. We can't tax because we're right wingers, and we're supposed to be the party of low taxes. You can still be the party of low taxes. And I'm not saying you got to go tax at 50%. I'm just saying we need a wealth tax. We need to shore up Social Security, and we need to win to keep the commies from taking over Australia. And you don't win running on freaking half big, stupid Green New Deal stuff. You win by shoring up the biggest retirement plan the vast majority of Americans have and who support it, which is Social Security. It's not that difficult. So people want. Give them what they want. Stop fighting it, man. And I'll never forget. I'll never forget. In 2020, I think. Yeah, it's 2020 if memory serves. Florida voted pretty hard for Trump. They voted. I can't remember. And I can't remember if they had a bunch of stuff on the ballot in Florida, and most of it was pretty right wing stuff. And then 70% of the people voted for a higher minimum wage. Now, for me, the libertarian in me hates a minimum wage. There should be no such thing as a minimum wage. But these people said whatever, and you can say they're ignorant. I don't care. At the end of the day, they voted for a high minimum wage in Florida. At the same time, they're voting for right wingers across the board. So there is a disconnect between the right wing populists and the right wing corporatists. The right wing corporatists, the hedge funds guys, which most left wing, by the way, they're never going to win, man. They're not going to win. The Mitt Romneys of the world aren't going to win. Now, Utah, what the hell? They got a horrible governor, a clown governor who believes in CRT. They got Mittens up there. I'm like, what is going on up there? Well, it's the same thing that happens in a lot of these places. The Democrats can't win as a Democrat, so they just run as Republican instead. It's crazy. Now, I don't like the FICA tax cap being lifted. I don't. I think it's dumb. You don't need to lift the FICA cap. And the reason we don't is because what FDR said. Remember, the libs love FDR. One of the worst presidents ever, of course. But FDR said, if we have unlimited taxation on Social Security, and I'm paraphrasing here, it's going to keep people from buying into the system, because what's going to happen is the Bill Gateses of the world aren't going to get the significant benefit. They'll have a limited to the benefit they can get an unlimited tax, and thus will seem as a welfare payment as opposed to entitlement. And if we make it a welfare payment, that's not going to get support. It just won't. We need to make an entitlement. So unless you say Bill Gates got basically $1 billion a year in Social Security, we shouldn't have it. We should continue the FICA cap 100%. Right on, man. Give to Caesar what's Caesar. Give to God what's God's. I hope that's still in there. Oh, 100%. I'd love to see. That's what I'm saying. I would love to tax the greens. And the only way you can do it is get rid of charitable deductions, because you can't say I don't know how else you could do it, man. Well, they're gonna tax the Tesla drivers. You can see that a mile away, because they don't pay a gas tax. That's coming. I cannot wait to see these smug, as South Park said, the smugness of the electric vehicle drivers. I can't wait to see when they say, "Yeah, there's Pablo. Hi, look at that guy." I can't wait to see when there's a mileage tax, because it's coming. You're not going to get away from it. For electric vehicle drivers, they're like, "Why you can't tax us? We're saving the environment." All right. Nah, I get you. What I'm saying, all the U.S. commies want is it. This is, but we like Trump, and you negotiate. You throw out some stuff, and you're willing to get rid of other things to make sure you get some things, Julie. I mean, that's how it works, man. And I just know the Republicans got to win. I mean, look, we had all the Democrats voted for the 40 billion to Ukraine. 11 Republican senators and 57 Republican congressmen, House members. That's it. The saving grace to be anti-war now is on the Republican side. There's no other way around that. Now, will that change with a Republican in office? I hope not. Trump led the way. Trump showed us that we can be a peace party as opposed to a war party. Right here, yeah, see, right here, my man up in Maine. The wealthy has been game assist for decades by at 100%. I could not agree more. Art and all that. I mean, just the whole thing is insane. I still remember Black Monday when the market dropped 22%. Oh yeah, nah, it's in one day exactly. Yeah, 18%. Nothing. I can 100%, man. Just one, and the reason is because we're more independent. To be honest with you, the quote for you guys listeners: right wingers are weak. The libs stick together. 100%. We're just more independent minded. We're more free thinkers. There's just no two ways around that. Yep, 100%. Charles, a billionaire tech nerds. I don't even think they're nerds, actually. How many? I mean, you don't have to answer here, but I talked to a lot of people whose companies are run by private equity now. We're talking freaking Joe's Smoke Shop in Portland, Maine. I'm just when I was growing up in Portland, Maine, Joe's Smoke Shop was a place. So I don't, I doubt it's still there. But anyway, Joe's Smoke Shop is run by private equity. Isn't that crazy? Again, reading my man Matt Stoller, he's talking about this barbershop conglomerate, this hipster barbershop with everyone, they give you, I don't know what the libs drink for tea. I don't know what the hell's called. But anyway, they're all tattooed, they're all the cool kids. And it's that's the same thing. Private equity runs. It's the whole thing is nuts, man. Private equity, private equity, private equity. Like, why is private equity running, mom and pop's freaking, dry cleaning shop? I don't think that's the way it's supposed to be. In fact, someone said I probably won't be able to find it. It was Matt Stoller, STO. Let me just show you this guy's. You should read this guy. I'm a big fan. Long time, first time. My man Jeremy does not like my stake on taxes. He says. I want no income tax on my income. Look. I got no qualm with no income tax, none whatsoever. In fact, I was listening to a pretty far left clown guy, Michael Hudson, who's an economist. And it's just a whiny liberal. Why are liberals so whiny? It drives me up the wall. But he made a good point. He goes, we should never tax income. We should tax or never tax labor. It should be taxed on your assets. I forgot what he says. Your investable assets. It wasn't your rental. I forgot. It was unearned income, is what we call it. And I get what he's saying. I'm trying to. He used a good word. I forgot what it was. Maybe your productive assets, but don't tax labor. I always thought that's a good. I completely agree. I'm not a fan for a value-added tax, but I do think you don't tax people's labor, but you tax their. It's not unearned income because that's so demeaning because your income is earned. But I forgot what we call it, but it's a good art. And this guy's a clown because he's like, oh, the economics departments, they don't give us a chance to, tout left wing stuff. It's all run by the Chicago school. It's like, are you freaking crazy, dude? You know how many Marxists are in every single economics department out there, other than UCLA? And I don't even know if UCLA is still right wing or libertarian. George Mason and Grove City College, and then Chicago. That's pretty much it, man. Maybe some of Texas A&M. But guys like you freaking what these guys, these leftists, they want everything. They don't want there to be a free thought out there. This guy was complaining because economics departments won't let Marxists essentially and Keynesians and non-Chicago monetarists, i.e. Milton Friedman's, have a place at the table. I said, I was sitting there and I heard that. And I said, you just clown show. I actually didn't mind some of his arguments. It was like, the minute you start going down that, you're a clown. Marxist economists are everywhere, man. Oh, yeah, what I'm saying. Student loan payoff, just another entitlement, this time for the rich. I don't know if it's for the rich per se. I actually think a lot of ignorant kids got stuck with student loans that the colleges overpromised. I don't think it should come out of taxpayer. I think it should come out of the colleges that basically took the government money. Don't forget, this is all government money. I mean, it's all Robin Hood, reverse Robin Hood. Steal from the poor, the ignorant poor masses, and give to the wealthy so they can remember. Like, don't forget, University of Michigan has like 30 diversity and inclusion officers or something like that. It's freaking insane. All that's off the backs off those poor kids who have huge amounts of debt. Now, I don't want the government coming in and waving that, but I would absolutely make an argument, say, hey, University of Michigan, you should pay these kids back, but it shouldn't be our freaking taxpayers. But again, Republicans, no, no, can't have any discussion about taxes. Taxes are off the table. Oh, that's not how you negotiate. You negotiate, say, yeah, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. Let's see where we can go with this. Say, oh, yeah, I'd agree on a little bit of a payroll tax increase if we can make these universities pay. The universities are the epitome of evil in the United States right now. Make them flip and pay. Yes, I'm vengeful on that. 100%. I want universities to pay for the damage they've inflicted on people. I don't know if you followed the whole thing at Oberlin, the donut shop there. They got to pay out 11 million, and they're like, oh, we can't afford it. Yeah, you should have thought about that before you started calling these people white supremacists. You freaking clowns. There's another one now, a bar at New York University or something like that. Some freaking wealthy black chick said, what was it? Or dude was horsing around in the line, and the bouncer said, you can't horse around. Of course, he got all upset, offended, and he said, it's racism. And now everyone's up in arms. They want this bouncer fired, and they want all these people to go through a sensitivity training because some wealthy college kid who's never been told no in his life felt that he was being chastised because he's black, when in fact he was just being chastised because he's horsing around in the line. And they've had issues there with a fire safety hazard because it's in this tiny little corridor. And it's like, of course, the university capitulates. And I want the university to pay. I'm vengeful towards the universities, 100%. I would love to see the universities pay big time. And we're already seeing public schools are going to be reducing big time. It's 1.2 million less kids in public school. That's a start. That's a win. Only an idiot doesn't see how that's going to affect university systems here shortly. It's already affecting them. Because those at 1.2 million less kids in public schools, demographic bomb, we don't have enough kids being raised. So now you're going to have less and less kids going into high schools and less kids going to universities. And that's a win. So a lot of these people who are out there on the freaking largesse of the taxpayer, they ain't going to be working shortly, and they got no skills. The Robin DeAngelos, the Abraham Kendys, all these clowns, race hustlers, there's only so many jobs at MSNBC. Let's put it that way. I can't wait. I love it. I know I shouldn't be vengeful. Don't care, man. Don't care. I am vengeful. I want the universities to pay. The evil they've inflicted on this society is insanity. Pure evil, and they need to pay for it. So, yeah, 100%. 100%. Yeah, 100, I could not agree more. Yeah, we're going to. Slim says, his 401k identifies as a 301k. It sounds like you're all in growth stocks. But I appreciate the super chat, Slim. Don't be in growth stocks 100%. If you're all in growth stocks, you're going to get smoked. You're down 27%. If you're in a combination of growth and value, you're down 18. And if you're in value, you're down 10, if that. So don't be all in growth stocks. She says, getting taxed on dividends interest makes you mad. It punishes those of us who do without things to save and invest. Yeah, but that's where you say, let's not tax your income, if that makes sense. We don't tax income. We tax the non. That's not. I don't know what he used a good term. I forgot what it was. Well, 100%. Air conditioning, gourmet dining choices, wellness centers, Wi-Fi, comfy. It's like, dude, these guys, they got these freaking Olympic pools with the slides. That was crazy, man. Hey, there's Larry and Elizabeth in Tejas. Sorry they're late to the party. Well, you're going to tardy, man. You're tardy. Unacceptable. All right. I blame a lot of the hyperinflation on higher ed, on infrastructure. 100%. I completely agree. It's like this Taj Mahal because it's unlimited funding. Heart Flight, there's unlimited funding. They've had a complete unlimited budget from the government, like RJS, because the student loans. Maybe agree to a 10K loan forgiveness for one-time increase of 1.8%. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the loan forgiveness. I mean, I don't want it to come from the taxpayer. If we're going to do loan forgiveness, make it come from the source of the loans, which is the university. Why should I have to pay someone else's loans when, like my man Robert said, he saved 45 in the Navy, I think in the Navy, 25K in loans paid off his debt. Like, why should we pay for these kids' loans? And yet the administrators for critical race theory are still living, large at the Ohio State University. It doesn't make any sense. We shouldn't pay. It's like we shouldn't pay for Ukraine. There's no other way around it. We should have nothing to do with it. Isn't it ironic that Sweden and Finland now want to join NATO? Why? Oh, because the U.S. has just given away tons of money. If Putin sneezes, here's $40 billion. And just like I started this whole thing, as much as I despise the CDC, which I do, and it should be shut down, and the EPA, which I do, and it should be shut down too. By the way, who founded the EPA? The right wing crusader? Who founded the EPA? Who started it? Anyone want to guess? Who started the EPA? All you Republicans, you're like, yay, EPA's, we don't like the EPA. And I say, you know who the EPA started under? Anyone want to know? Anyone want to know who started the EPA? Nixon. Exactly right. Dougie Fresh, Casper the Ghost. 100%. Yep, Nixon. Nixon started the EPA. So can we enough this that Nixon was this great right winger? Oh, who invited China? Who got off the Bretton Woods, whatever Bretton Woods? Who had wage and price controls? Yeah, he didn't call it under an income, Monica. He called it something else, and I just non-productive. It wasn't non-productive. I just forgot. He had a good word for it. And I just forgot. I can't remember. Oh, Nixon is a horrible rhino. Horrible. And the sad thing is, I got a book on there from Whitaker Chambers, Witness, where he proved that Alger Hiss was a commie spy. Alger Hiss. And Nixon was the only guy who supported Whitaker Chambers, the only guy. And now that we know for a fact that Alger Hiss was a commie, thankfully Nixon was able to get some headway into having discussions against Alger Hiss, and he finally left government, thank God. And then Nixon became a Keynesian. He said, "We're all Keynesians now." Oh yeah, Reagan raised taxes 100%. But yeah, I mean, look, and all this is just look. If I had a magic wand, and I say we could do this, I would say no tax on income, a charitable. There'd be no more charitable. I mean, literally, no tax on income. There'd be a charitable deduction. There'd be no charitable deductions unless you want to do a charitable deduction limit. I'm okay with that too. Say, look, if your AGI is less than I don't know, $100,000, you can still deduct it. I doubt very many people will anyway, but I'm okay with it. I don't care. I want to make the universities pay, and I want the wealthy to, because it's a politically expedient, and that's just a fact. I want to make the wealthy, the Bill Gates of the world, who have all this money to give to all these NGOs all over the world, I want them to pay wealth tax. So instead of getting charitable deductions so they can send money to Africa charities, NGOs over there to basically put jabs into little babies, why don't we keep that money here, or at least the tax money here, because why should we subsidize Bill Gates' evil? It doesn't make sense. Oh, my man retired and moved 70% to cash a couple weeks ago. Reinvest 50-50 now. All right, so there is literally no win for me to answer that question. None. Because if I said yes and the market tanked, you say, he told me. If I said no and the market went up, you'd say, you told me to stay. I can't answer that question. I can't answer. No way would I answer that question. Nothing wrong with you, Kevin, but there's no way I'm touching the 10-foot pole. Look, you guys don't know. I've been around this business for a long time, and people are very keen to blame others for their own mistakes. Let's put it that way. And having borne the brunt of that, I don't want nothing. In fact, even just on YouTube, I had the guy friggin' pissed me off, man. I still piss off by this because I thought the guy would. I don't know. It's disappointing. Let's put it that way. He said, "You said Ginny Mae. Now I'm down 8%. I'm getting killed." I still to this day I can't believe that guy said that. I was like, I cannot believe this guy. I was like, man, you can't win, man. You can't win with these people, and because you can't win, yikes. The Warriors up 12. I don't really care about the Mavs. I don't really care that much about the Mavs. I just can't stand the Warriors, but Steph Curry can kiss my big fat behind too. However, I gotta give Steph Curry credit. If it wasn't for Steph Curry, there'd be no white boys like Pritchard for the Celtics in the NBA, right? Because Steph Curry gave smaller guys a chance to play. And I don't know if you've been following the Celtics and Heat. You know, my kid loves the Celtics, so I got to root for the Celtics. And seeing this little white guy, 6'1" Pritchard, who turns out to be a pretty good basketball player. He's a hustler and all that. He probably never got a chance if it went for Steph Curry. I'm not sure how tall Steph Curry is, but Trey Young for the Hawks, again, this 6'1" guy probably would not have got a chance. So, yeah, I like it when other people outside the what's the word, what everyone thinks is a good, like a quarterback, they got to be 6'4" and 220. It's nice to see a guy like Doug Flutie and Drew Brees get a chance on occasion for sure. See, now my man says the leftists are ruining the country. Well, not for me. Yeah, we're already in a recession. We're already in a recession, Steph. 100%. Remember, a recession is 2 consecutive quarters of negative growth or declining growth, either way. And we've already had one. That's banked. And the idea that, and the reason that one was already happening, because the value of the dollar went up relative to other currencies that our imports exploded. And the idea that's not going to happen again, I find it silly because the dollar continued to ramp up against everything except the Russian ruble. Isn't that interesting? But the dollar is growing in value against foreign currencies because, as always, the dollar is always a flight to quality. So the idea that the dollar is losing every day, it's just freaking stupid. Anyway, so what happens is as the dollar, I got another $10 super chat. You kidding me? Hey, my man Mike, right on. That's 2 $10 super chats. Hey, keep them coming, man. I got a dog to feed. Look at this guy. If you can't super chat me, super chat that guy. All right, so man Mike, 53-year-old, no house owned and renting. Great 401k, but worried about rent rates. Should I find and buy now or soon? Look, I don't think the housing is going to get cheaper anytime soon. I'll tell you that right now. There's no way we're in a bubble. I could be wrong, but the idea of housing bubble when we only have 400 houses for sale. That's it in the entirety of the United States. You got your butt right in my face, buddy. Right in my face. That's your butt. Right in my face. Yeah, I love you, but I don't need that butt right there. What's this? Beep, beep, beep. Oh, you don't like that? At least it's not Finney's butt. Finney's butt is a big old brown eye. Hard to see house prices fall with so limited supply. But interest rates are going to kill the market. I just always go back. What happened in the 70s? Did the housing markets get killed? No. What happened in the 80s with high interest rates? Did the housing markets get killed? No, they did not. So you have a very limited inventory and you have a higher interest rates. Okay. Hate to say it, man. Until we get housing, the listed houses 4 times where we are today, the housing prices, in my opinion, keep going up. Just because there's not enough. We had a letter. Some lady wrote us a letter that they want to buy our house. As often kind of say, how much you got, sister? I mean, I'll sell. I'm not too cheap, but I'm not. But I was like, hell. But then where would we go? You know what I'm saying? For us, so at some point, we'd. But I was like, so we got a personalized letter from some lady. She wants to buy the house. Anyway, so yes, we're going back to Steph. We are in a recession because we're going to have a second straight quarter of negative GDP. Who cares? Just because they call it a recession or not a recession, it doesn't matter. So that's what I'm saying. It's kind of like when I say, oh, they're going to raise interest. They've already said they're going to raise interest rates, so the bonds are going to go down in price. That already happened. When they talk about raising, the bond prices already went down. They don't wait for the actual bond the rights to go up. It happens the minute they say that they're going to go up. And the same thing here. Just because the BLS, Bureau of Labor Statistics, hasn't said we're in a recession yet, the minute they say we're in a recession, it won't even be till July, but the last week of July, I think is when the BLS numbers come out. Maybe even the first week of August. So we're not going to know we're in a recession a lot of times till it's over, if that makes sense. So we're in it right now, in my opinion. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Trump 2024. Sorry. I know that makes somebody from Indiana very mad at me. It's all good. Look, Trump's better than 90% of the Republicans, all the Democrats. I'm not, I don't want Trump 2024. I want DeSantis. That's my man. But DeSantis, I get it, man. Everyone's got, let's see. I got my eyes, dude. Yeah. I know you like. Is that my man F Cortez? Man, how is he able to score that lady? My goodness, F Cortez. I got to put my wife on my avatar too. Damn, dude, good looking couple there. Look at my man scoring a nice lady. Nothing. What funds you use for a bucket two? I personally, I don't. I think. What? And my whiny McGee over here. I don't follow the 3 bucket myself. I just have cash, Wellington, VDIGX, and a couple individual stocks and VTI. That's it. So I add $2,000 every 2 weeks to VTI. I have Wellington's my biggest holding. In my Roth, I have VDIGX, and I got some cash. That's it, man. That's it. So for me, there's no 3 bucket. 3 buckets too hard to follow. And I'm just a caveman. I'm a simple guy. Let's see what we got over here. Nothing. No more comments on Rumble. All right. There's people on Rumble. Yeah, we got 5 people watching on Rumble. Right on, man. All right. I'm a talking pumpkin. Anyway, so again, I don't follow 3 bucket. I think it's too complex. I think most people won't be able to. I was listening to a guy yesterday, reading an article. He had like 7 buckets. I was like, oh, it wasn't Craig Israelson. This guy, I was like, dude, you're trying to sound too smart. Stop it. No one can follow that. No one's going to follow it. Yeah, no time, flat time. Exactly. Dick Army said on a postcard, what'd you make? Send 10% in if it's at this threshold, or 25% in if it's at that threshold. 100%. Hey, just retired 3 weeks ago. Congrats, man. I'm a talking pumpkin. If there's loan forgiveness, I want my dad's money back. Exactly. I mean, I hope Sniffy Joe goes down there. Hey, I got $5 super chat. I'm rolling in the money. Yeah, Bruce, look, you know Pablo. Bruce, look at that. Yeah, we love Pablo. Pablo's the best. I'd love to be only down 8% right now, down 18%. Well, that's the S&P 500. That's the S&P 500, man. So Pablo got a super chat. We're gonna have to give him a special treat. He's such this guy. Oh my goodness. Yeah, and I'm not sure we're done with it going down. That's not even a full-fledged recession. I mean, that's not even a full-fledged bear market. Let's see. At least you're not Bitcoin, huh? But don't forget, I mean, we're talking some of these stocks, like I think Amazon, some of these stocks are getting crushed. If you're in the growth stocks, you're down, like I said, a good 26 to 30%, depending on what stocks you're in. Oops. How many steps? I try to walk 5 miles, Mike. I actually don't like it very much. I listen to podcasts and stuff, but I don't know. I do try to walk 5 miles. I just I almost said I just don't like it. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. But it allows me to catch up on podcasts, and every now and again I'll do, well, probably more than every now and again I'll do a video, just rambling, rambling root beer. I enjoy that. Today, the last 2 days, I didn't do any walking. We walked with Charlotte and I took the dogs for a good 2 mile walk. That was fun, and we got to snuggle and whisper sweet nothings. If I ever try to hold Charlotte's hand, she's like, "No." If I ever try to give her a smooch the first time, I try to smooch Charlotte the first time. I said, "Hey, we went to a movie or something like that." I said, "Hey," and she's in the car. I was driving. She's in the car. I said, "All right." She goes, "I'm getting out. I want to give her a smooch," and she went, "Zoops," and gave me the sideburn. I said, "Man, what the hell?" She goes, "I thought we're just friends." I said, "Well, I got a pretty girl in the car. I'm gonna try to give her a smooch. What are you talking about, sister?" She's like, "All right, well, I didn't realize that." She goes, "I'll see you later." And then she went and told the roommate that she gave me the sideburn. Her roommate's like, "Man, you left him hanging." She goes, "I thought we're just friends." Now, all these years later, my charming. I said I had millions in my portfolio. Little did she know I was talking about in a Zimbabwean dollars. Anyway, so today I was doing some pressure washing. Oh, yeah, yeah. I use electric pressure washer. Those things, I like them. Just keeping gas and just all that stuff's pain in the ass. But the electric wet pressure washer, you have to change the plug. It's not hard to do, but if it gets wet at all, you gotta take it off and open it up, and it's not that big of a deal. But it's very sporadic. Sometimes it'll work, and sometimes it won't, man. And when it doesn't work, it's hey, another $10 for Pablo. Man, Finney's being left out. You guys got to bring some money to this guy. Look, oh my goodness, look at him, look at that guy. Just as if you get electric pressure washer, it's fine. It works good. It's quieter than a motor, but it's just if it gets any kind of moisture in the plug, you gotta take it apart. It's not that hard, but it's not. It's just sometimes it doesn't work, and you're sitting there. It's almost like you're hoping. Come on, this time, same kind of thing with electric pressure washer. Don't be. I'm just telling you right now. My experience with electric stuff is good at best. It's the nice thing about electric pressure washer. This one is it plugs right into the wall, the 120, so I don't have to worry about the batteries. But it's quiet, quieter, but it does a job. But I tell you, if there's a problem with electrical connection, you're screwed, man. And I had to take that thing apart a couple times. Thankfully, I didn't have to do that this weekend. But a couple times I had to take it apart, and it took a good amount of time to figure out what the hell was going on. You know what I'm saying? Even then, you're putting it back together. You're just hoping you figured it out. And the same thing happened yesterday. So we're fine today, but yesterday is like, start. Then when they get take apart the electric components, it's a pain in the ass, man. Yeah, even a caveman can do it. But just be careful because a lot of these people think electric everything is the way to go. Electric motors, and if there's something that goes wrong with the electrical connections in there somehow, it's not an easy fix. It's just not. Maybe smarter people than me can fix it. I don't like taking things apart and figuring. I'd never like that stuff. I just like that's why I was a good infantryman. I'm a good grunt. Just tell me what to do. Give me a shovel. I'll do it. You know what I'm saying? But don't give me the freaking. Don't tell me how the watch is made. Just tell me what time it is. Give me the shovel. Give me the M60. Tell me to go over there and dig a ditch. I'll do it. If I have to figure all this stuff out, I'm like, oh. I mean, it hurts me. It hurts me in my head. Man. Yeah, right. Debt free, 100%, man. The way to go. I heard Karen Jean Pierre, I saw Salty Cracker, said that she got demoted. Is that true? Had electric for a while, just can't get the pressure I could from gas. Yeah, there, 100%. You're not gonna, you'll get the clean, but it won't be, it's gonna take a lot longer. There's just no two ways yeah, one yes, there's a one. Look at my man Robert. So he says release the pressure. There's there is 100%. There's like a screw thing. If you take that off, it plugs out. But the issue is that if you open up the plug and you look in there, you see you just see where it just got a little bit concocted. It's a pressure builder. 100%. That's a good point though. I actually did a video on that, man. It's funny. I did two videos, one on how to fix their pressure washer, electric pressure washer, and one how to when the electricity goes out and your fridge, your Samsung fridge starts saying 33E, how to fix that. And both have got well over 5,000 video views. Isn't that crazy? It's nuts. So it just shows you that on YouTube there's a lot of hey, look at that, $9. Right on, Kevin. $10. Oh, thank you, Denise. Man, everyone's paying me money today. So basically, if you're not paying me money, what's up? But I appreciate that. Thanks, y'all. Even if you don't give me a super chat, I appreciate y'all being here. It's fan. I enjoy this, man. What I'm saying. I always tell myself I should do these every day because I do like them. I always say, do I want to do one tonight? And I'm like, yeah. And when I do them, I like them. Future's showing up for tomorrow. Yeah, but until we see some activity. Yeah, right on, man. Right on. This is right here. Tarzan and Jane. He's going to retire in November. He'll live on cash for a few years and get ACA cheap. That dude, 100%. Come on, fine. Oh boy, you gotta spoil it. You just. Oh, let me go put him on. Here, you want to sit with Finney? There you go. Good boy. Oh, there we go. No, stay with Finney. Okay. No, you can't make up your mind. All right, he is. That's the way to go. Live off cash, have ACA cheap, freaking go swing through the jungle. That's the way to go. Why would you buy and hold something that happens once in a decade when you know it's going to happen? You can virtually see when a higher high is put in. Uh, yeah, right here. Monica retired with a minimum pension because couldn't stand COVID situation at work. Right on. Awesome, Monica. Yeah, don't sell your soul for those people, man. Oops, what happened? Kevin's investing through Fidelity, holding VEIPX. I want to enter Wellington. How do you deal with manager changes as Wellington recently went through? It's still run by Wellington, the Wellington firm, so I don't care. I mean, the Wellington company as a whole is in my opinion, who you're buying, and they're going to get they're going to get. I just trust the Wellington company to make sure that their managers are good to go. I actually had a client as one of the Wellington. This is a long time ago. He was one of their PMs, portfolio managers. I forgot which fund, and he was exactly what I'd hope. Just a good man, um, uh, not flashy. He had a nice house. He made a lot of money. But he was a good guy. He had like 4 kids. Catholic guy. Just a nice, just a good man. Man, I mean, I very much I enjoyed very much talking to him. He was a good client of mine in terms he listened to me. We had a good relationship. I can't remember the guy's name to save my life. But I just remember he had a decent net worth, not huge. I mean, more than I'll ever have, but is exactly the kind of guy you want running your money, man. Just a good professional, not flashy, conservative minded. And anyway, that's that in my when I think Wellington, knowing the track record of that firm, knowing that Vanguard aligned with it for a reason, and knowing the personal relationship I had with this guy, I'm very happy that Wellington manages my money. What I'm saying. Yeah, what up, man? Me too, Jeff. I can never remember. I took apart a rifle one time. I had this old 22. I still got it. I forgot. Was it Remington? I don't think it was. I can't remember. I took it apart. I can't. What did I forget how to? I said now I can't remember how to. I got the the thing that the piece of paper shows where all the parts go, and I still can't figure this synthetic or something like that. What do they call that? And I just like everything. I can take it apart, but I always forget where it goes. Always forget. I said, man, I should take a picture or something, write down where it goes. Oh, so bad at it. Yep, they do love crayons. That's why I joined the Navy. Snake system sounds a little bit Like I'm gonna snake you out of your money. No bucket. I got the barbell. I mean, that's what I got. The brand name's the barbell, cash and stocks. This is the best time in the last 20 years to get in if you have cash. Most experts I follow mention mid-year for a little bit more stimulus. Okay. um, no, man, no super chats for me. Banned. You're banned. I was in the Navy during the late 70s. We know what's going on in the Navy back then. Village people? Why do you think they had a sailor? You notice they didn't have any infantrymen in the village people. Larive man? Larive man. We know what's going on in the Navy back then. Remember Jack Tripper and the guy from the Ropers, Mr. Roper? Oh my goodness. How we've come, how far we've come. Mr. Roper. Oh my goodness. That was classic. Oh, my garden got some eating some snap peas. I literally just threw a couple tomato seeds in the ground. They're booming. I don't have any fruit yet. Blueberries are probably the next week or two. I'll probably have a crap load of blueberries. Raspberries are starting to come along. Tons of raspberries poking their heads out. We'll see how many the birds get, the freaking squirrels. Strawberries, I've eaten a couple, and the squirrels have eaten a couple. And something got my freaking peaches again. I got to figure they're gone this year now. It's again just like how it happened last year. I don't know if it's the birds. I think it's the birds because the squirrels you see some residue on the bottom. There's nothing. And just all my peaches gone. Oh, it makes me so mad. Apples, no flowers on any of my apple trees. I planted a plum tree, base I got for like $5 from Walmart. It's like a stick. That's coming along. I'm hoping to get some nice plums off that. I got one last year. It was freaking awesome. I got some cherry trees. They're growing. I haven't seen any flowers off those yet either. I just put them in last year. Bunch of potatoes. A little bit of carrots. Not that many carrots. Carrots don't do it for me so much. I thought I like carrots are easy to grow, but they just take a long time and they don't do it that much. A little bit of peppers, not that much in peppers. I had a horrible year with peppers last year. And then one of my clients told me about some kind of potato. Oh my goodness, what the hell is it called? I can't remember, but it's perennial potato. It looks like a piece of ginger. Jackalope? No, it's Israel artichoke or something like that. Israel artichoke, and they're freaking booming, man. But I haven't. I don't need. I mean, I think it's an Israel artichoke. Mockingbirds got some of our peaches. Mylar tape keeps them mostly away. We have to let it hang and blow in the wind. Yeah. Okay. You need. But where do you put the Mylar tape, Elizabeth? Like you put it on. Like where do you put it? I just hang it from a branch. Well, it depends on what. If you're using. So my peppers just seeds. So I mean, they're just seeds right now. They're not. I mean, they're literally. I grow stuff from seeds, if that makes sense. So, they're sticking out a little bit. Last year they just didn't do well. The tomato plants. If you're using indeterminate versus determinate, you really it depends on your pruning. Really depends on what kind of tomato species you're using. Just so you hang a piece of tape down. Is that all you do? Just hang this piece of Mylar tape. That's it. So remember, my friends, on indeterminate tomatoes, they grow all season, right? And like last year, I did nothing but indeterminate tomatoes, and you definitely want to prune those for sure. There's like a little crotch in there, and those are I forgot what they're called. Anyway, you take those off, and you can plant those someplace else. Yeah, exactly, Jack. That's right. Jack Turbo's in the Navy. Yep, right on. It was anyway. So there's a thing that grows in the crotch of the indeterminate plant. You want to prune those because that you want to have it growing in a certain mechanism on your tomatoes, and I like cherry tomatoes, so I had those things growing like I had more cherry tomatoes than I can eat. It was great, but they dominated my whole garden, and so I didn't want to do that again. So now I'm doing determinate tomatoes, which is they all flower pretty much at the same time. It's not literally at the same time, but within 2 weeks, then they're kind of gone. And so far, so good. I just don't eat that many tomatoes, so I'm not that big of a fan. But yeah, I love peppers. My man's planting cucumbers here, Mark, and I love freaking string and snap peas. I love them. And sunflowers are such a good for just soil building. Oh my goodness. And Marine F4 electrician here. I'll get Harry to come fix my electric motors then, 100%. True Leaf Market, Quincy. True Leaf Market. They're good. That's where I went to my was it last year or 2 years ago? I think it was last year when I went to my boot camp in Cameron, Missouri. It actually wasn't in Cameron. That's a big city next to where I forgot the town was. And True Leaf Market, my man recommended. So I buy all these seeds from True Leaf Market. I have nothing but wonderful. It's just insane how well they germinate. It's fantastic. Literally, you can put them on a rock and they'll grow. Now you can make a marine joke. It's all good. Yeah, but it's not it's the sucker. That's what it's called. The sucker. It's in the crotch. All right. So the sucker is you got the main stem and you got an off stem. And then you got the thing called a sucker. And if it's a tomato plant that's indeterminate, you really want to prune those because then it'll get too much. And it'll take away the sunshine from the other parts of the tomato plant. And remember, indeterminate means they continue to grow until the season's done. They continue to put out, and that sounds like that's what you want. But those suckers get big, man. I have some cherry tomato plants at 10 feet tall. I'm telling you, how to get on a ladder to pick them. And when they get that big, they're hard to control, and they start to lean over and stuff. So you really got to time down. It's a lot more work than you think. I know it because I said, "Oh, indeterminate. That's what I want. That way, I'll have them all season." That's a big growing thing. And it really, when they get that tall, and I have a pretty small garden, they take a lot of the sun from other plants, which is one of the reasons I don't think my peppers did well. And I had a bunch of indeterminate. And what I did is I tied them down. I had these little string lines above, from basically a pole to a pole, and I strung them. And it's just what I learned in my boot camp. It worked like a charm, but they're up there, man. And you really got beyond that, and you really got beyond them. Get the suckers off, or else they're just going to take off. And when we went to Hawaii, we came back. My garden was just a mess, just because those indeterminate. I mean, I had tomatoes everywhere. It was great, but I had nothing else. It was a learning experience. That's the thing about growing a garden, man. It's always a learning experience. A lot of people get up after the first year, don't. Like I had great success 2 years ago in cucumbers and peppers. Last year, I didn't even do cucumbers because they're really just nothing but water. But I did peppers and they sucked because my indeterminate tomatoes. My regular tomato plants didn't do that well either. But I had great luck with carrots and great luck with potatoes. But anyway, it seemed like something else I had. A good amount of blueberries, not that much. I put a bunch of blueberry plants in last fall, a bunch of raspberry plants in last fall, and my 2 cherry trees too last fall. One of my peach trees died, so I got to replace that guy. But you want to plant your trees in the fall. Fruit trees, any kind of tree should always be planted in the fall. So I got to wait. Have you tried putting inflatable snake? Oh, I have not. Inflatable snakes. That's interesting. Oh, inflatable snakes. I like it. Now that, ooh, oh, sliced tomatoes, mozzarella cheese, all the, damn, that does, oh, that sounds good. Sliced tomatoes, okay, mozzarella cheese, olive oil, oregano, oven and bake until, oh, man. Where you live, Chris? Mango and avocado tree. It's called tomato bread. Oh, too cold to grow outside. Yeah, can't grow citrus here very well. I'm in 7B. We're on the cusp, but you really can't. Harry B. Look, Harry B's Harry B is oh, that is funny. I don't know if you did that deliberately or not, Harry, but that cracks me up. Not adhesive flash tape. Right on. Um, you're very diverse, Harry. Let's put it that way. Uh, San Diego, yeah, San Diego. Homemade pickles. Um, Jimmy Durante reference. So when we lived in Phoenix, when before the Colorado River runs dry, we had they do irrigation. I think I said this just last week, but before you guys, irrigation is you have these valves. So what the Mormons would do. So the Mormons, when they first moved there to grow cotton. There's a seven seas of Arizona: copper, cotton, corn. I don't remember if it's corn. I can't remember. But it's corn, cotton. It was cotton, copper, or maybe the five seas of Arizona. I'm drawing a blank what it was. But anyway, so the Mormons would grow cotton, and they'd have they'd take away some of the from the Arizona the water thing they had, and they put it through parts of Phoenix. And what you do is you have these big pipes running through your backyard up on this little hump, and you have to go back there and you open up the valve like once or twice a month, at like 3 in the morning, and it flood your backyard, and you close the valve. If you forgot to close it, you're gonna have a flood in your house, and they're gonna get fined too. Anyway, so there's like a people would do that for a job. Literally, it's crazy. If you go on vacation, you have to get a guy to come do your irrigation. Anyway, and we just had the best orange and grapefruit and pomegranate trees. Oh, it was freaking fantastic. But you need this thing called water for that. And Phoenix, they're running dry, baby. Las Vegas, running dry. Be warned, you ain't getting it from the Colorado. So where is it going to come from? You're going to import it in from where? From Lake Michigan? Ooh, Nelly. All right. What the hell was that? Kool Rabi? Yeah, right there. Five C's: cattle, copper, cotton, citrus, and climate. There you go. That's right. Right, man. Right on, man. Cattle, copper, cotton, citrus, and climate. Yeah. Cattle, copper, cotton, citrus, and climate. That's the five C's in Arizona. There you go. So now you know, man. I worked for the state mine inspector for 6 months, and so I had to go around to Globe, Morenci, or Oracle, and inspect mines and seeing these big freaking trucks, huge trucks like Phelps Dodge and all that. Man, it was crazy going out there and inspecting these mines. And I just followed the guy around. I didn't do anything. But you see these trucks, just like the tires, like 3 times the size of me. It was crazy, man. I enjoyed it. Oh, right on, man. That's good. It's all good, but it's fun. 8B. Anyway, so if you're thinking about, don't say I got a black thumb. If you just got to give some time, it's just learning. Literally, it's learning. You just got to. First thing you do is you got to put a seed in the ground. Literally, literally the first thing you got to do is you got to buy the seed and just throw it in the ground and see what happens. Literally, that simple. Um, Jerusalem artichokes. That's what it's called. Jerusalem artichokes, and I've someone told me about that. Someone here in Georgia. Apparently, she and her husband has freaking awesome garden slash yard. I guess has been featured in like Southern Living magazine or something like that. I can't remember. And she goes, "You should buy these Jerusalem artichokes, the perennial potatoes." I said, "Really?" I guess they call them fartichokes because they make you fart. And if someone is still on this channel, talk about synchronicity. She sent me a video on how to reduce your uh, how to reduce your flatulence. I said, do I have a reputation for farting? Yeah, dude. Cherry, I like cherry tomatoes. I like them, but they just took up a lot of. They took a lot of space for me. Again, indeterminate. You want to look at the package because if they're indeterminate, they grow different than determinate. It's just you got to know that. It's all there is to it. Jerusalem artichokes. So I got those things are booming, man. I put them in the ground last year. I haven't done anything. And they're freaking the leaves on there are. We got clay soil too, so I don't know what's growing underneath there. They just got lots of leaves, those solar panels are capturing all kinds of sun, and I don't know what the heck I got underneath there, but and ginger too, man. There's nothing better than fresh ginger. I got a couple of ginger that I put in containers. Oh, I love ginger. All right, guess we get out of here, my friends. Ooh, Oilers 4-0 Flames. Damn. Yep. I grow in buckets. I got a lot of stuff in buckets. My garden area is small. My wife only lets me have a small garden area, and that base I'm putting all my. I got a couple things in there. Mostly it's just raspberry, blueberry bushes. I got a couple things growing. Mostly everything else is just in containers. Everything I got in containers. I got my Jerusalem artichokes are in the ground. That's what I'm saying. I don't know what's going to come up because they're in clay soil. I got some snap peas growing in the ground. I'll put a cover crop in there of clover, crimson clover, in the wintertime. And I got I don't know. Is that it? I got growing in the ground this year. Everything else is in containers. Oh, pretty much everything else is containers. Bigger the garden, less grass to cut. Yeah, exactly. But talk to the old lady about that. All right, my friends. God bless. Don't forget, look up Matthew 18:20. Two or more. Nope. It's going to say two or three. And you're going to say, my old Bible, I guess it always said two or three because my old Bible said it. Something happened. Why didn't we all remember as two and three then? Why do we all remember as two or more? Mandela Effect. Look it up, man. I'm telling you. All right. Yeah, well, we'll see, Jill. I got to get some out of there first. I mean, I can grow leaves like the best of them. The question is, can I grow the fruits and vegetables? I mean, I can give you I'll ship a whole bunch of leaves up there, but what's underneath? That's the question. All right. See you guys. Have a good one.